This recipe is a close adaptation of the traditional Ragù alla Bolognese, the famous meat sauce from the city of Bologna in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. Like most Italian recipes, every household within the region has their own way of making it, and surprisingly, the first ever recorded recipe doesn't even include tomato. However, in 1982, the Italian Academy of Cuisine compiled the history books to register the official recipe for Ragù alla Bolognese, with the goal of being a reference point for how the sauce should be made. I would say this version closely resembles the 1982 recipe, but doesn't include pancetta or the addition of any broth. Start by sauteing half a minced onion in a couple tablespoons of olive oil and butter, and add a small pinch of salt. After a couple minutes, add a minced carrot and a minced stalk of celery, and let the vegetables soften together on low heat for about 8 minutes. Next, add the meat. I used half a pound of ground pork and a pound of ground chuck, but you could do all chuck. Then cook the meat just until the pink is gone, adding another small pinch of salt. Pour in a glass of dry white wine and let most of the liquid evaporate before adding half a cup of milk. This will keep the meat tender and reduce the acidity of the tomato. Again, let most of the liquid reduce before adding a 32-ounce can of your favorite tomatoes. The whole process should take almost an hour before adding the tomatoes. Once the tomatoes are added, you'll want to cook the sauce on a very low simmer for at least 3 to 4 hours, stirring every 20 minutes or so. If at any point the sauce becomes too thick, you can add a splash of water or broth. This is a good recipe to make a day ahead of time because it tastes better the next day after sitting in the fridge overnight. When you're ready, cook your pasta in salted water and heat some of the sauce up in a separate pan. Once the pasta is al dente, add it directly to the pan and mix together well to coat the pasta. It helps to add a very small splash of pasta water during this process to combine everything. Traditionally, this is served with tagliatelle, but it also goes well with pappardelle, or it can be used to make lasagna alla bolognese.